Getting getting second must suck. It's like, damn it.
Alright, so camera will be on you after we do intros, but for now, starting in the lower left corner of Entomb Valley, folks, it's the Green Protoss, it's Pantatank!
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Entomb Valley, it is his Korean opponent, formerly of Team TSL. It is Revival.
Yeah, Red Zerg, and sorry to leave you hanging like this. I'll be back in 10 seconds, Gary Oak.
It happens. There isn't too much interesting going on anyway, so me and my terrible camera skills won't weigh this cast down too much. Looks like we'll see the standard pylon at the natural, so we will see a Forge Fast expand. This is cross positions. And Pandatank's scouting. Is he going to go cross first? It looks like he might be. I don't see his probe rallied anywhere. Will he turn at the watchtower? Nope, he's going cross first, so he's going to see Revival right away. And Revival's not drone scouting yet, so I guess he's just going to Overlord scout. He's going to find out sooner rather than later, though, because this Overlord going to the south is going to see that there is no Protoss base there. Will we see a pool or hatch first? Generally, we do see a pool first in this matchup, just because the probe can be so annoying and block it off. And on this map, if you get blocked off right here at the natural, and you take your second base at your third, then you've got these destructible rocks over here, and it can make you actually very vulnerable to an early Protoss push. And we do see that spawning pool coming down for Revival. Probe is doing some harassment. He's actually not gonna bother this drone too much, so is he really going to let Revival expand unmolested? No, he's going to throw a pylon down. Or just block and leave, depends on how he wants to manage his economy. And because he's cross-spawns and the pool isn't anything earlier than the standard, he's going to be doing a Nexus first back at home. This probe's just being annoying. He's only got 2 hits left on him. 1 more hit, so he's got to leave, and the hatchery does get planted. There's no further harassment there. And because he went Nexus first, he won't be able to do any punishing follow-up to this, so he's just going to have to return home with this probe. Back at the wall, we see the standard Forge, another pylon.
And I'm back. Sorry for leaving you hanging for so long, buddy.
No problem. I was able to take over. It's Protoss versus Zerg, so...
Yeah, so I figured it'd be fine. Look at that, we got the wall off.
Yeah, we got the wall.
And we got early hatchery, what do you know? Shocking.
Will we see a hatchery 20, 30 seconds from now? It looks like the answer is yes, as that drone is meandering toward the third base.
This is a bit riskier, though, on this map in particular. These rocks make the third base not quite so secure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that while you were gone, and we do have a Nexus first out of Pantatank, though. Just wanted to point that out. And the probe does see this, so... Interesting cannon placement.
Yeah, well, it'll cover most of the spread, but there we go with that extra cybernetics core being added. I don't always agree with this because it's really easy to lose that cybernetics core to like roaches, say, but
yeah.
You know, that early wall off is so critical. You don't want Zerg in your base. Period.
Honestly, he could have definitely afforded to place his cyber core somewhere else and used another gateway to close the wall off later, because he knows that we do have a 4-minute third base coming out of Revival. That means Revival is going to be incapable of putting on serious aggression for a little while, so he can afford to delay that wall, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Revival also could take a page out of Red's book, just go for like 100 drones real quick, because I mean, why the hell not? I mean, Pantatank doing this wall, and sure, this sets you up for a really nice 2 base, but just like the fact that Zerg won't be producing anything, neither will the Protoss player. It becomes a bit of a stalemate, almost a passive, no rush, 10 minutes situation.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's Protoss versus Zerg for you. It's a very passive matchup early on most of the time, unless one of them decides to go for anything crazy. And because we see that quick pre-hatch out of Revival and the Nexus first out of Pantatank, that's not going to happen. Yeah, so we got a good few minutes before this develops into anything.
Yeah, we've got a Stalker chasing a Zergling middle of the field right now.
Oh, so it looks like Pandatank's being really gutsy, thinking he can go toe-to-toe in a macro game with a Korean pro, throwing down his third base. The reason why I'm being so...
condescending.
I was going to say that is because generally Koreans are better in the macro game just because of how like superior their training regimen is. Like, that's not me just being biased. That's a fact that they have a better training regimen, and
Oh, agree
the better,
entirely. And look
more
at
and
this
better
wall
practice you
off.
have, the better you are in a macro game because you've been there more often.
And I gotta say,
And
I mean, whether you're Korean or foreigner or not, I mean, like,
it's how you
Protoss
train.
Death Ball versus Zerg Death Ball. I mean, whether you've got the good macro or not, that micro comes into huge play. You know, can you neural the mothership? Can the mothership vortex the
Yep.
broodlords? It all comes down to who's got the better positioning, who's got the better control. So, Korean or not, we'll see what happens. And these Zerglings are going to meet their death if they chase. Okay, they do turn around and go home.
Yep, and we
But
do see the
I mean, this is a
proximity.
really nice early wall from Pantatank. There's not going to be any Zergling run-bys. This third base will be secure for so long. And quite frankly, with the way this goes, this is one of those situations where 5 Phoenixes would be really effective. But oh no, Gyriok, we have something not so visited, not by a lot of players, but we have Hallucination on the way.
Yeah, I noticed that. Hallucination's nice to be able to hallucinate a bunch of phoenixes to scout, which is what it's usually used for, but sometimes
You
we'll
can
see
make
something
fake Colossus and scare your
fake Colossi.
opponents.
Hey, I'm going Colossus, blah blah, and then they'll be like, oh crap, and get all these corruptors. Oh, by the way, I have Archons and High Templar. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's a nice little
That's
bait and switch if you can pull it off, but it's not always the easiest thing to do, and Revival is probably one of the few people who is, I would say, would be comfortably used to seeing hallucinates. Because it's
yeah.
not something, again, it's not visited so often by a lot of Protoss players. It's kind of ignored and left alone, but Revival now going for 4 gas, 6 gas even, going high
That's
production, kick
I
it in
believe
into
that's what made
overdrive.
I believe that's what made Seed really popular. Like that's how Seed actually started to make a name for himself. And I think he'll be doing the fake anything build. I guess he'll just be using it for scouts because he does have a robo, or maybe he's going to make immortals and then hallucinate colossi and have a more immortal based army
I would love for
off
him
of
to
Twilight Council.
have, like, 5 Phoenixes, right? And then hallucinate 5 more Phoenixes and use those to, like, tank the Spore Crawlers or something. But no, this first one just going across the field, going to be a nice little scout.
Or just scare the Zerg because if they're like mostly real or like mostly fake with a few real ones mixed in there, the oh boy, we see DTs.
Well, that's perfectly fine because we have roaches coming across the field. I don't know if Pantatank saw that or not on the way, but DTs are very effective against roaches.
Especially if there's no overseer by the roaches. And we got +2 weapons on the way for
How many gateways?
Pantatank,
4,
so
5, 6,
those
7,
DTs are going to hit pretty hard.
12 gateways, Gary Oak. But when you're
Wow.
on 3 base, you can afford to do it. And you know, even if these DTs are shut down by the overseers, guess what? Archons.
Dare I say it? This sounds like 3 base all in because you can. It's
When
almost
do
like
you-
a 3 base all in, 12 gateways.
When do you ever have a Protoss have 3 base all in though? I mean, like they never get to that 3 base situation. Not this early, at least.
Well, he's there this early.
Yeah, we have a 4th coming out of Revival, but I think he might be a little
could
too
all in.
confident. He might be a little too confident with what he has right now. There's just a huge
Yeah.
force from Pantatank.
I actually like this build, honestly. Like,
Blink is complete.
It's-
That Dark
it's
Shrine's
all
about
or
to kick
nothing.
in.
this is going to hit really hard, and he's got a lot of options. He's got the warp.
Oh, but the
Prism, he's got
roaches-
the observer.
The Roaches were kind of
Oh.
waiting for him to move out. They saw it with
This
Watchtower.
This counter could turn him back. And does he turn around?
The Roaches will decimate everything. He is warping Stalkers. I think he's just going to try and hold with what he has. Going to continue to push forward.
Yeah, he actually is warping in what he has. He could actually blink these stalkers out to reinforce, but no, he's kind of dancing around with his army, being a little bit indecisive, I feel.
Well, with his Warp Prism, he doesn't even need that pylon that was picked off. He's just going to warp in all day.
Exactly. And there's
And
the
3
DTs. I guess he's going to go in for a snipe, or the
Are there
DT's
any
going.
Overseers?
They're going for his natural. They're going to try and snipe the natural mineral line while he attacks
And
the fourth base.
There's no
The army's out of
spores.
position.
There's
Oh,
no
they're-
spores. Oh, Zerglings are getting a
fungal
nice
and
surround, though.
everything.
Blinking away, though, he does recover from this. He's going to lose quite a few of the sentries, though, but that force field is doing
Small.
wonders.
This attack is going to lose a lot of its power very soon.
I mean, this attack might not even succeed. The Stalkers are so powerful. There's so much. And again, that natural is about to be hit. He's going straight for the Queens, actually. And the DTs have been split a little bit, killing a lot of drones, actually.
Yeah, we have a total of 11 drone kills, so he did ravage one mineral line, and this other DT is going to work with its 55 damage Warp Blade.
Oh my goodness, the drone count kill is just racking up. 2 Overseers have been warped in now, though, so these will be shut down. But he also took out the 4th base, and he's being pushed back. Those Fungals holding a lot of Stalkers in place. Can't quite blink away. But 12 Zealots warping in at time, Karaoke.
There's the 12 gateways, what's up?
I would like to see Charge come out of Pantatank, really, more effectively use these Zealots, but I mean, he doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter. These Stalkers are just overpowering. We're going to see another fungal come down, but I don't know if that'll be enough, Gary Oak.
I don't know. It looks like
he's only losing.
Pantatank's kind of running out of steam here, but he has nothing to kill this warp prism with because the
But
infestors are out of gas.
He's only losing gateway units, and he can warp in 12 at a time. And look at these DTs coming and cleaning up the roaches.
He knows that his opponent's out of fungals, so these DTs will just be unmolested here, and he has to pull back to his third base.
The damage has been done, and it has been done severely.
53 drones, 67 probes. Revival's really behind in the economy right now.
And he lost his fourth base. You never want to be on even bases with a Protoss. It doesn't matter what race you are. 3 base versus 3 base.
Especially with inferior work account. But we do have Mutalisks. Well, I don't think we have Mutalisks coming up, but we have +1 air attacks, so he hasn't built anything yet with his Spire, I don't believe.
And there's such a severe lack of upgrades. The +2 weapons, Gary Oak, on these Archons are going to do just ridiculous damage to these Zerglings.
So much that it actually one-shots the Zerglings. 3 shots a Roach.
Yeah, this is going to be huge. Some Dark Templars being warped in. Don't know if this is for actual damage or for more Archons. More Archons it is. I mean, why the hell not? I mean, he's just... Pantatank is doing very well this game.
Yeah, it was really good of him to hold off that counterattack so he can actually continue with this. So I guess he's going to keep throwing units at him with 12 gateways until either he runs out of steam or Revival crumbles.
Ooh. We've got Neural Parasite coming, but I can't really see that being used too effectively anytime soon.
It's a good call against the Archons, but he's got to let it research first, and here we go.
The Archons are just doing too much damage. The Infested Terrans are popping and almost dying immediately. Look at these Zealots. They are fungled, but there's so many of them. And as we said before, that's 12 Warpins at a time. There's just too many gateways. Revival cannot hold this off.
Revival's almost out of steam with these Infestors. They're dead weight for a little while. He has no fungals between them. He has
and look at the Zealots. There's so many Zealots in this composition. So many Archons.
He can just push forward.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Just kind of moving. The Infested Terrans, who cares? You got so much damage. I can't even get over this. This is ridiculous, Gary Oak.
Splash damage is good against Infested Terrans, and he just doesn't have enough energy for fungals.
He is regrouping. I mean, I don't think he wants to get a little too overconfident or over-eager, but I mean, the damage is just... Revival doesn't have the capability.
Yeah, this is a really horrible situation for Revival right now. Let's look at the work account. 62 drones to 67 probes. The economy is fairly even, but you don't want to be even as Zerg. You got to be ahead.
I want Pantatank to research charge on Zealots so badly. He's using so many of them in his composition, yeah.
I agree, yeah. You should have charge at this
Ooh, Archon's on the front line in front of these Zealots. A little unfortunate. He does lose one almost immediately.
I'm not sure if this is a good idea to go up this choke, because we got the Concave against the Convex, and the Concave wins, but maybe
he's just
Pantatank
throwing units away, but
stopping power.
Pantatank, I mean, he is just plowing through it, Gary Oak. And as you said, the Infestors are all out of juice. There's no fungals to come. There's a force field on the ramp, so no reinforcements from the main, and that's where the macro hatchery is, unfortunately.
This merciless aggression just forced all the energy out of these Infestors. I wish he had an Observer here. Okay, there's the Observer. These Infestors are all going to die.
With the loss of these Infestors, we might just see the GG. Third base is going to fall. Look at all these Stalkers. They're just going to blink up. There's 26 Zerglings, but who really cares at this point?
This third base is forfeit. We should be seeing Revival tap out very soon.
But the Natural's actually left standing with like less than 100 health left on it. Yeah, I mean, the loss of the larva production, the loss of the mining, this is just too great. And there's